Welcome back, YouTubers, to my channel of an everyday life of an ASB looking into the eyes of a specialist syndrome. If you have come to my channel for a reason, and these reasons beyond whatever it may be, for a difference or a change or just maybe some encouragement and alignment, I'm hoping I'll be it for you. Even though whatever the reasons, you are here for the right reasons, obviously. So I congratulate you for having the courage to make that first step just to view my channel. If you're fully aware right now, I'm doing the series of the Living Life Drug Free series for the ones that may be needing it, just as a support and encouragement or learning resource aid or whatever the case may be, so that hopefully that if they needing to know the signs or symptoms, it's just to educate, because as I said before many times before, that there needs to be certain topics that needs to be addressed that has been swept under the carpet. And all further ado, also I would like to take the time to introduce myself. If you haven't been on my channel for the first time seeing me, I'm ASB Answers All. So in all further ado, though, I'm doing hopefully part 26 right now, which is basically called Tough Love, and basically the 3 important reasons to be tough on the ones who is using or who is chemically dependent. So we need to ask ourselves basically about our friends and family members that excuse me, that needs the help, pretty much that doesn't bother to ask for help as well. For an example as well here, when is it the last time are they going to use, or when is it the last time that they're probably going to be, you know, alive and well, sort of thing, and that we just fear for most of the time for their actually safety, their well-being, and that we need to ask ourselves, however, also, when is it time for us to stop making excuses for these people who are chemically dependent on these drugs and alcohol? When is it time to actually detach and let go, basically, is another question to throw at you. When is enough for us to actually take that stand, to actually be in that shoes of theirs, and actually just to be their support? Because I know it hurts us to the core and it ruins us to the core also, basically, when it comes down to basically just watching them just self-destruct in the way of choosing the drugs or alcohol over what they could be doing better of their lives, be it finding jobs and whatnot, even though many people just tend to choose these things. Excuse me. We need to realise though, we're doing more damage than good if we're actually trying to protect them. As I said in one of the series, if you've been following it straight through to this one, basically that there has been certain roles that us people that don't use as a role in the role of the family circle or even just as friends. We can be classified as a scapegoat, rescue a lost child, and basically what they call them, so I forgot the last 2 out of the 5 that I mentioned, but feel free to view that part of the series just to recollect my thoughts there, guys. Another thing is that we need to remember is it's easy to fall into the habit of just basically protecting them, because obviously it's our role. That's another one, protector, just came into my mind. Basically, when we come to make those excuses for the ones that are chemically dependent. It is obviously natural and just obviously the way it is for us, being the way it is of wanted to rush in and protect that one, even though we know they need to make that choice actually to break free from that habit or addiction of whatever it is that they're using at the time, as well as just basically knowing in their hearts that maybe they're tired of using, the tired of thing. Is, like I said, we need to maybe make sure that they hit the bottom to actually realise that they need the help they need. But when, like I said, when is it enough, is it up? This is the time that we need to make a stand, need to stand strong enough for ourselves, basically to just say, nah, enough is enough. There are some key statements you could say to the user, even though as we know that some of these people that are chemically dependent or using may be in denial of the fact that they're not hurting anyone, it's just for fun or whatever it may be for their reasons of using these substances. You know, we need to practice what is called in this part of standing up for ourselves, tough love. This means letting our friend or family member know that basically that they'll have to suffer the consequences for his or her own behaviour, attitude, actions through using. As I said before, we need to also think about the 3 statements that I'm going to bring out to you, though, that have to address to you all, basically, which is, number 1, hitting bottom is necessary, or maybe necessary. When you protect your friend or family member that is using from the consequences of using also, we need to realise that we're cautioning the bottom effect of what they're doing. They need to hit the bottom in order to admit there is a problem and to get that help that they so deserve and need. Number 2, your friend or family member has to acknowledge that using is a problem. Okay, there are, as I said before, number 1, there are dire consequences, obviously, to our actions and behaviours towards others, and feeding that habit addiction, obviously, towards this. And that basically, we need to realise that sometimes when people are using or addicted to drugs and alcohol, they won't show up on time, they won't basically come to work on time, or even school, depending the age. Or isn't where they're supposed to be, so they'll lie about where they're going. So obviously they'll say, oh, I'm heading into town. They don't tell you where in town maybe, but then you find out later, either through a source or just basically for yourself, if you did want to check up on them, that they weren't there in the first place. Even though sometimes many people may think it's not good to just, spy on them. Or suppose doing things he's expected to be doing. Okay, if he steals to support his habit, it is likely he will get into trouble, obviously, with the law or with the person who he stole from. May even be charged with the crime. If he spends money on alcohol or drugs rather than spending it wisely on the things he needs, then he should go without them. If you prevent these consequences from happening or playing out in the life of your friend or family member that is using, however, you're denying the person of the reality of that problem or his own decisions and actions towards that addiction. In short, you take away the chemically dependent person's need or motivation to stop using. You're just making up words, obviously, just to, obviously, as I said, cover up their tracks by just maybe giving them money or whatever the case may be. Now, number 3 is taking care of ourselves by distancing ourselves, obviously, from someone that is using or abusing the drug or alcohol. As I said before, remember the roles that I mentioned about us basically trying to protect that person from using and abusing, be it the protector, the rescuer, the scapegoat, the what have you, the lost child. I can't remember the 5th one. I'm sure I'd said about 5, so bear with me. I humbly apologise. I'm trying to recall back from what I've shared with you so far. So obviously this is important so that we can be healthy. Basically, we need to make the right choices for ourselves as well in all of this, because obviously our health is as important as just as theirs. So, sometimes some people that are trying to protect the user from, using or abusing the substance or what have you, they tend to, try to keep it in secret or try to make things right in the spite of the drug use. It is a very stressful time and it can be really hard, I will admit. It can also create a lot of confusion and chaos and can even become an obsession of its own, of basically once the lies build up and everything, they tend to just keep going and going and going. As you sacrifice your integrity to cover up for your friend or family member, your self-esteem will suffer, obviously, and you can find yourself not being helpful to either your friend or family member or even to yourself, however, as you fail to do what's best and right for you. Obviously, as we know, our number 1 factor is ourselves. We need to look out for ourselves. As I said before, in number 1 or what have you, we need to know when is enough. We need to know when is it time to let go to that person who's using and abusing. We need to know, basically, when is the right time to stop making those excuses for them and let them stand on their own feet, even if, like I said, if it hurts to the core that they're hurting themselves, until they realise that they're the problem as well as the drug habit that they're feeding on that time. I'll agree, it is a difficult time for us to just sit back and watch the person just self-destructing themselves by using and abusing and spin out of control. Especially when that person is also hurting emotionally maybe, or even just hurting in a way that they're just trying to, use it as a form of escape from their reality, escape from their emotions, escape from basically certain circumstances that they're facing right now, be it like they've lost a loved one, be it that maybe they're depressed, be it that the emotions are all taking its toll as well, making it so overwhelming to the point that they feel that they need to feed that habit or next hit, basically. Maybe getting sick physically, and when he doesn't have the things he needs, such as lunch money, he obviously will just use whatever he can to feed that habit or addiction, as I said. And not helping can run counter to what you believe about friendship. Obviously, when that happens, obviously we know that basically we question ourselves about friendship, friends and whatever along the way, and that we need to realize that no matter what, that's important. So if your friend or family member is using, your first instinct is to probably keep him or her out of trouble, as I said before. Maybe just to, stand up for yourself, for example, or for them when they got in trouble with the law, that you're going to be the one that's going to cover up for them and actually take that responsibility of their jurisdiction of what they done wrong, basically. But we got to bear in mind, though, when it comes down to it, that their addiction or habit will take its toll, obviously, especially as an example, as I shared with you, if you're covering up their tracks of getting in trouble with the law, and that don't suspect to always actually do that all the time, or else the user will guarantee to think, in one sense they'll think that you're a friend and also maybe you're doing great for them, and that they won't realise that what they're doing is wrong, even though they should be basically the ones setting up for their own actions. This can include anything from harbouring a secret of his use, pretty much, or also another one is helping him lie to his parents, letting him copy your homework because he can't be bothered doing his homework, or he's just basically, he can't do it because of his high addiction, basically. Or another one is hiding drugs in your locker. But let's be real here. The real truth here is that this isn't basically helping him in any way by allowing him to avoid the consequences of his actions. The best thing you can do right now from the very start, from the let go, is you see someone using, is take a stand and make that stand and make it clear cut as day. Enough is enough. I've had it, It's up to you now to make that choice, obviously, to make or break with this habit, You need the help. This is obviously, you got to realise when you make that stand, if the person you're trying to help is a friend who refuses to get the help on his own, you may want to talk to his parents or even someone you trust to just hopefully see if they can be obviously of help. It's worth remembering though, however, that the people that end up in jail, mental institutions, and also lead up to death is the long last haul due to their drug and alcohol use. If you're feeling that your friend is having serious mental and or physical health problems, or even is endangering the lives of others, say something to his or her parents again, or someone who you can trust. It may be what will save the person's life in the end. Well, that basically ends part 26, Tough Love 3 reasons to why we need to be tough in love. Give me the likes for support as well as the thumbs up that you're just liking it. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook on SB Answers All. I'm hoping to share some of these videos on my community page on my SB Answers All so that people can access it there as well if they haven't got a YouTube channel, hopefully, which I haven't done so already because I've been so tied up with other bits and pieces of what I've shared with you all, designing out my website and everything else that I want to do right now, which I'm going to share more of what's happening there as well as my book journey. Basically, also, feel free to share these videos, to family and friends, because like I said before, we really need to make a change, make a difference somewhere, and share our stories, obviously. So do feel free to comment below with your stories, or even just a comment of some sort that shows that you're engaging with me. And also maybe, like, I challenge you to maybe do this with the ones that did have that habit, or what have you, that addiction, be it of a form of a drug or alcohol. How did you actually turn your life around? What made you decide that, yeah, my friend or family member or whoever that told you you had that problem were right? And basically, what did you do about it? Did you actually make that stand for yourself, obviously, to, make that change? Or did they come along on your journey of recovery to actually go about it? So, no further ado that. And also, another one is, feel free just to maybe comment below with some quotes that could be some of positives, that could be of encouragement to people, because like I said, I really want to spread some messages out here of support. So without further ado, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.